Hello, welcome back to Military Family Investing. All right, we're going to talk about something deep today. And no, I don't have a script. So let's go off the cuff. Do middle class look down on the military? Okay. By middle class, let's define middle class. Middle class are people who don't have assets. Okay. Your primary residence is not your asset. So upper middle class have assets, meaning they might have a lot, but they have something outside of their primary residence. They have dividends. They have, and assets aren't liabilities, meaning they're not boats, cars, stuff like that. It's something that produces money. Okay, Robert Kiyosaki. So they had dividends, business, um, rental properties, potentially renting rooms, something like that. Something where they make money while they sleep. Okay, I'm gonna put that as the separating. Okay. Now, this could be called the working class. So the middle class could be called the working class. Okay. Now, do the working class slash middle class look down on the military today, 2023? I would say yes. All right. So when I joined back in 99, I signed up in 98. Um, if you weren't some elite college kid, or I mean, high school kid going to college, for the most part, your parents weighed the decision to go into the military. Okay. So C student, right? B student, man, they're probably gonna toss you into a community college. All right. There was no war back then. This is before the Iraq war, the Iraq 2 war. So yeah, it was different. Now, yes, there's been a fair amount of bloodshed over the last 20 odd years, but I get the sneaking suspicion, and I've talked to a lot of people. I get the sneaky suspicion that they think their kid is going to be some all-star. Okay. So, message for you. Your kid's probably not going to be an all-star. How can I tell this? Because you're probably not an all-star. Okay. So, this is how it breaks down. All right. If you are not an all-star, how on earth can you expect your kid to be an all-star? Life just doesn't work that way. Yes, 1 to 5% can come from the projects and play basketball, become a rapper. Okay. In the suburbia, you know, they can come from people who are working at McDonald's and, you know, go be a doctor. Okay. Now, this path is very difficult. Okay. So let's dig a little deeper on why this path is difficult. Okay. So say both your parents, let's say we'll give them a little, let's say they own a corner store somewhere in New York City. Okay. So they have their own business, but it's more like a job, right? They're stuck to it. They don't have employees. They work 12 on, 12 off hours, keep the store open. Okay. Got it. They don't know much about entrepreneurship, becoming a doctor. Okay. You come along. Okay. They have high school diplomas. Now you start going into college. Okay. So parents think that, hey, I'll send him to Georgetown elite school, and then that's going to give him the references slash background he needs to be an elite lawyer. Okay, so it doesn't work that way. All right, so the rich people who have assets, who have the mindset, they already have things set up for their kids. Okay, them going to Georgetown is just part of the progression. Okay, it's part of their life progression. They already have passed that. Okay. We, middle class, lower class, working class, we think that the progression is school. And then somebody magically is going to come out, snatch up your kid, mentor them, show them how to navigate. So I have a good friend who's a lawyer, and she tells me about how she navigated to being eventually a corporate lawyer. Okay, but she had to navigate. Okay, so she went to school, she got out in law school, the big firms, the medium firms, and the government come each. once a month to handpick. Okay, obviously the big firms are where you want to go. Once you get to the big firm, you're in the meat grinder. Okay, you grind up, and if you do well there, based on billable hours, then you can move up, and then moving from big firm to corporate is where you want to go because corporate is you're only working for that one corporation. In the big firms, you're just getting grinded out for billable hours by any firm. Okay. So once you get on there, you're legal counsel, you just do their workload. So it's a better job. But you still have 3 to 5 years of grinding if you get to big. Okay. I digress. What I'm telling you is most people don't know this. Okay. So you're middle class, you're like, yeah, my kid's gonna be a lawyer, right? You don't know anything about anything. Okay. You send them off and you say, okay, go for it. In the meantime, they're getting all kinds of debt, all kinds of, they're going to have their real life family, new family, kids, trying to buy a house, rent, all the stuff. Okay. Big picture is we all have big dreams for our kids. I have kids. We have big dreams for our kids. Okay. But sometimes being realistic is the best. Okay. If we're not realistic, they're going to waste a big chunk of their time between 18 and 30 playing something, even if they become a lawyer. Okay, I give you that. They become a lawyer, they become a corporate lawyer. If they don't have the support, they will burn out. I'm just letting you know. So if they go and say they move to San Diego, big time lawyer making $250,000 seems like a lot of money. Your house costs $1.5 million, meaning your mortgage is now, let's just say, 7,000 a month. Okay, so 250 sounds like a lot. When you chop off California tax, federal tax, everything else, you're probably down to 150. So that's 15,000 a month. Okay, now you just cut that in half with 7,000. Not so great. Now you also have to save for retirement. This is why the military is great. Okay, because we don't save for retirement. We can do TSP, but if we never even entered in TSP, which is a 401k, we would still retire with something. Okay. Now, why is the military so important or valuable? Okay. Because most people don't think this way because they don't have any passive income. But when you receive, let's say your retirement is 5,000 a month, okay, between disability retirement, how much money would you need in your bank account, in your brokerage account, which is your stock market account? How much money would you need to produce that kind of income? Okay. At a 4%, a safe 4% withdrawal rate. Okay, so if I was a civilian, how much money would I need to invest to withdraw 5,000 a month? Okay, which is 60,000 a year at 4%, $2 million. Okay, I'm just guesstimating, but it's roughly $2 million. It's probably a lot more. Okay, now in the civilian world, are you going to save $2 million in 20 years while having a kid, traveling overseas, learning your job, everything else? Or in 20 years, are you going to be more likely just getting out of debt, just purchasing your first house? And then you throw on top VA loan, which is basically saving for, so you're not saving for a retirement, you're not saving for college, and you're not saving for your retirement, okay? Or your house down payment. It's a pretty good deal. Why did people start looking down on the military? It's always been that way. Military's always been for the most part, enlisted, enlisted. Okay. Officers and rich people have the right mindset. They know long term, if you want to be a senator, if you want to be a CEO, getting a feather in the cap of being in the military for 4 to 6 years as an officer is good. It means that you're grounded. Okay. You get military time, you get a family, now you're set for future endeavors. Okay. You're not really doing it. Again, that's just part, just like going to Georgetown. The military is just part of their progression. Okay. It's already lined up. They have the long term mindset. Okay. This is what Robert Kiyosaki talks about. You don't just go work a job. You work a job for a reason. Okay, I want to learn about sales, so I go sell cars. Not I need money, I go sell cars. Okay. Now, enlisted, for the most part, enlisted was always kind of the lower echelon of people going to go die for the country. Okay. They needed the money. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's just admit it. Okay. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. But over the years, people have started to just in general just think that their kid's above it, right? And they really think that their kid's going to be an all-star. Okay. They pump that into the kid. You're going to be an all-star. I'm in the military, about to get out 60 days. Um, and I see kids in there and they're like, think they're above the military. Okay. What are you gonna do when you get out? Go to school, do this, do that. You're gonna be a loser. This is it, it's hard to describe that. Okay. If you're not a go-getter, if you're not a meritorious human, if you're not top 5%, chances are you're just gonna get lost in the wash. All right. That's just the way life is set up now. You're gonna go work 20 jobs. You have to be the smartest person on earth to survive now. Okay. Especially if your family's not helping you. It's almost impossible to survive now. So you need to go get a $250,000 job and go live and rent a room. Save $100,000 a year just so you can catch up, just so you can get $1 million in the bank. And now you're talking. Now, as you progress in your life, you have $3,000 a month in dividends. All right. But most people can't do that. All right. So the military, I'm looking, I have a kid, he's 16. I'm looking, I'm like, it's still the best option. Okay. It's still the best option. Even just doing 4 years is going to set you up. All right. Because you're going to have your GI Bill, you're going to have your VA loan, you're going to have your skill set, potential little disability, potential little uh, 401k slash TSP going just from 4 years. All right. You can go overseas. You could pad your resume with some courses. You know, if you want to go back into the government, you already have it. Maybe security clearance. I mean, man, I think you're set up and you're only 22. All right. People getting out of college are just trying to like figure out what kind of avocado toast they want to eat. And you've already been across the world, have responsibilities placed on you. I was sitting at 21 years old. I was sitting in the middle of an embassy in West Africa by myself with a shotgun. All right. Keys to the kingdom at 21. All right. So if you look down on military, that's fine. I just hope you have a better option. I just hope you and your parents know what you're going to do. It is, and you better be tied to the hip of your parents better until you're 30. Okay. Even when you get married, you both, the new couple needs to be tied to the hip of your parents. Because as soon as you get your own apartment and your own car, you are going to be a wage slave. Okay. You are going to be just getting pumped with work. You're not going to breathe. You're not going to get out of it. Once you're on that treadmill, you will not get off. It's almost impossible. Okay. So if you don't join the military, think of the military as your family. Okay. Think of it as your new family. They will back you up. It is somewhere to hide. It is somewhere to grow. It is somewhere to build. Okay. If you don't have that on the outside, think about going on the inside. All right. I'm farther along. I'm ahead of most of my peers and most of my civilian people that I've known. Okay. I'm retiring. I'm not working again. I'm 42. All right. My wife has already stopped working. We're just going to chill out the rest of our lives. Okay. Focus on our kids. All right. Yes, the military was quote unquote hard, but it wasn't hard based on struggling to find a meal. It was hard based on deployments, growing, public speaking. going to meetings, combat, stuff like that. But it wasn't hard like base. Am I going to eat today? Am I going to pay my car note? Am I going to pay my house note? Okay. So just have a plan. That's all I can tell you. If you don't have a plan or what looks like to be a plan, and you can write it down and look financially that it's going to work, hey, go salute, find your nearest flag, salute, and get in the military. All right, I'm being serious. There's good things in there, and it's going to protect you from the real world, and then you'll come out, hopefully, with the right mindset to grow in the civilian world. Civilian world is ruthless. At least in military, hey, you're broke, somebody's going to toss you a biscuit, man. I'm telling you. So, hey, there's only so far you can flow or fall in the military. They will toss your family into barracks, whatever I'm saying. They're going to make sure that you're okay. All right. Civilian world, they're going to give you the fat deuces. All right. So, with that being said, it's kind of off the cuff, but make sure you have a plan. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.